getting there. Turn it on, baby. Let's go. What is up? What's up, homies? If you're out there. If you're not out there yet, whatever. Welcome to the show, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really calling this a show. I'm not really trying to make this an annual thing because free agency does not come every single day, nor does the trade deadline come every single day. But today we're just kind of hanging out, reading the news, going over all the shenanigans that are happening across the NHL. I got the World Cup playing behind me, so if you see me peeking over my head, I might be just taking a gander at what's happening behind me. So, yeah, what's up? Happy Canada Day, I think it's what it's called. Do not grill me for that if I don't know it's Canada Day or whatever it's called. But yeah, hope you guys are having a splendid start to free agency. If your team has picked up anybody yet, I don't know. My team, as far as I know, has not picked up anybody yet. But yeah, today, like I said, for the next little bit, we're just gonna go over what's happening across the NHL. Maybe talk about some of these. Well, we're gonna talk about some of the signings, and if there's any trades, potentially a big trade is in Zach Werenski. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. If he winds up getting traded, of course, we're going to talk about that and how and where he's at. That will be an interesting topic of conversation because there was some news last night that he didn't accept a trade or vetoed a trade to Dallas. So, yeah, there's a lot of talk going on right now about where that man might wind up, if he's going to be playing for the Blue Jackets or if he's going to be playing for Toronto, possibly. Who knows? I don't see Toronto happening, but crazier things have happened. All the gold medal winning U.S. players, not all of them, but a majority, not a majority, I guess what I'd say. The ones that are on shitty teams are talking about making moves, and to no surprise, Zach Werenski, who was claiming he was pretty much happy for the time being, that tide has shifted to where we're at now. So now we're just going to have to see where things wind up with Zach Werenski. And like I said, if he's in Toronto, if he's in Tampa, that was another team that was talked about that he could potentially be at. We'll see. Who knows? Crazy day ahead. It looks like there were some signings already, as to be expected. We'll pull up the browser cam. We'll take a look at Twitter and see what's happening across the NHL because, like I said, lots of things are happening right now. So, what would be the biggest surprise of the day so far? I think the biggest one for me would be the signing of Bowen Byram, getting that massive contract. That is as I'm having my coffee, I don't know what time it is. It's what it would be 12:30 your guys' time, East Coast time, if you're on the East Coast. But here where I'm at, it is 9:30. I just got done walking my 3 miles I usually walk in the morning, and now I'm having my coffee. So I'm a little slow to get going. I'm playing catch up with everything. So yeah. But yeah. Biggest signing so far. Oh, actually, let's scroll through Twitter really quick because I haven't been on here in a few minutes. And as we know, free agencies, things happen pretty damn quick. So I don't know what the rumblings are right now. Unfortunately, for some reason, YouTube TV, I don't have, or YouTube TV doesn't have the NHL network, which is ridiculous. Well, there we go. We have a new one. We have Matt Zuccarello, officially a Los Angeles King. Matt Zuccarello. I can't believe that guy is still in the league. He's old, was he like 37, 38, I think. I don't know, man. LA. I believe they just got Eric Holla too, not too long ago, this morning. Let's see. I'm going to put on some music in the background if I can find it. There we go. There we go. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it's hard to hear myself with a quiet room. There's a little bit of an echo in here. So, hey, good morning. Hope you're having a good day or good afternoon, depending on where you're at. Like I said, today we're just talking about what's going down across the free agency world right now. Eric Hollis signs with, it looks like, whoa, hang on. Mason Marchment is nearing a 5-year deal with the San Jose Sharks, $7 million. I'm a San Jose Sharks fan. I'm telling you that right now. I will take Mason Marchment. My name is Mason. That's pretty fucking dope too. I'll take that all day long if that is true. We got some cap space. We got a lot of cap space. We also have some players we need to sign. Adding Mason Marchment, a player with a little bit of gristle in his game, along with Kiefer Sherwood. Definitely a welcome sight in San Jose if that is going to be true. We'll wait here. Curtis Pachelka, he is San Jose's beat writer. So I will take his word right now. Who else we got here? Cole Smith going to, looks like Chicago for 3 years. Chicago, another one of those teams that has some cap space, definitely needs to acquire some more pieces for their team, because that rebuild is, it's taking some time, as well as, like I said, we just talked about the Bo Byram contract signing not too long ago. That one being a little outrageous right off the hop. I mean, who would think he would be the most expensive D-man in the league right now? I mean, at this point in time, we know Kale McCarr is going to get something fat. Will that happen today or will that happen over the summer? Who knows? I mean, I think we're kind of expecting that to happen. But yeah, Bowen Byram getting paid out in Chicago. What else we got going on? Mason Marchment to the Sharks again. I'll take that all day long. Brian Marchment. Funny enough, Brian Marchment, his dad, RIP, was one of my favorite players growing up as a kid. Like I said, I grew up in San Jose Bay Area. I played for the San Jose Junior Sharks. I played for the San Jose Blades, the team before that. So I watched Brian Marchment play in San Jose. So to have a Marchment, especially Mason Marchment, I wouldn't say coming back home, but for me, it's coming back home. That's pretty dope. I'll take that all day long. So yeah, pretty stoked to see Mason Marchment, seeing the Sharks doing something. Now the Sharks need to pick up a defenseman. That's what I'm waiting for. Who that defenseman is going to be, I don't know. I just hope we don't overpay whoever it is. And again, with trades going on today, it's not unlikely that we see the Sharks trade for someone. Again, I just hope it's not. I hope it's not Darnell Nurse. I don't know why people want Darnell Nurse on the Sharks. If there's a good reason why people want Darnell Nurse on the Sharks, let me know down in the comments. I don't know why people want Darnell Nurse. I don't know why anyone wants him on his team, especially at that contract. He's got like $9 million this year to be paid out, or 9.5 or something like that. I'm not trying to pay that for Darnell Nurse. Eetu Luostarinen signs in an 8-year deal with the Florida Panthers. No shocker there. The Panthers, excuse me while I take a sip of my coffee. The Panthers making moves. They acquired Markstrom yesterday. Now that's to pile on this. Again, I'm just kind of rambling. I'm not really going off any script or any kind of plan today, but the goaltending situation in Florida is going to be interesting. I mean, they've gotten their goalies now, which all signs point to Bobrovsky's going somewhere. Where he's going to go, I don't know. There's talks about him going to Toronto, and if I scroll up here, we'll see nothing. Oh, we got 23. Let's see. Anything's happening now. Nothing yet. Corey Perry is going back to LA. That's another one. But Bobrovsky, there's talks of him going to Toronto. If he goes to Toronto, let's talk about Toronto for a quick second. There's talks about Zach Werenski going to Toronto. If that happens, take it with a grain of salt. I'm like, I don't know why you'd want to go to Toronto. They haven't proven they can put together a performance in the playoffs, although they can get to the playoffs. I don't know if they'll get there this year. but they're in that win mode mentality right now. All like the moves they're making are in the win now mode. So acquiring Sergei Bobrovsky, and if they do get Zach Werenski, that just furthers that debate that they're trying to win now. But on the other hand, Edmonton needs a goaltender. I think I just read not this morning, Connor Ingram. He's walking to free agency, so I don't know what their goaltending situation is going to be in Edmonton. Now there's talks about possibly Jordan Binnington going to Edmonton. If that is the case, I can see Jordan Binnington having a resurgence in his, I would say, he hasn't been bad, but we saw him in the Olympics. We saw him in the Four Nations. We saw what he looks like when he plays in a high stakes game. We also saw how Edmonton's previous goalies have played in high stakes games in the playoffs. Not very well. So I would definitely say, yeah, Jordan Binnington would be an upgrade. Now, how they make that work, I don't know. We'd have to see if that actually happens and then contractually how that breaks down. But also Sergei Bobrovsky, good option there. I think, like Toronto, Edmonton needs to be in that win now mindset. I think Sergei Bobrovsky boosts that a lot for Edmonton, especially with the pressure that, of what happened last year with them and Connor McDavid potentially bouncing. I think that, like that win now mentality definitely needs to be ingrained in everyone on that team this year. And it all starts with goaltending. I've been hard on the goaltending situation in Edmonton for the past couple of seasons and just kind of came to a boil last year. And sure enough, here we are. They're looking for a goalie. All right. I'm waiting to see. We'll scroll through the feed, see what's popping off. We know about Mount Zuccarello. We talked about Lusto already. Oliver Bjorkstad to the Isles. Oh, we'll see. Mason Marchment and San Jose. There we go. Okay, so if it's official, I'll wait to see what pops up from Frege. That's gonna be dope though. I think Mason Marchment. I watched a lot of Dallas in the playoffs. Mason, now if he can stop with the diving, I'll be happy with that. But Mason Marchment definitely fits the timeline for the Sharks right now. If you are a Sharks fan, if you pay attention to the Sharks at all. Also, kudos to the draft. Sharks draft. I'm stoked. I'm super stoked for the future for us. Of course, we'll like that one. But he fits the timeline. Mike Grier's talking about acquiring young players that fit our timeline for the rebuild. I don't think we're trying to win now, but based on last year, I think that's a real possibility that, we could make a push to the playoffs this year. And we're going to need players like Mason Marchment who can get in the greasy areas. Again, for me, it's just chill on the diving shit, and I'm cool with it. He hasn't really found a place other than like he was in Dallas. He bounced around, couldn't really find any momentum in Columbus. So I'm happy with it. Well, I mean, time will tell. We'll see how it all goes at the end when the season starts and everything. But stoked on that one. What else do we got going on? We got Mackie Samoskevich. We knew that was happening after he got traded. Sam Urson signing with the Senators. I guess we'll take that one with a grain of salt. Nothing too crazy to write home about that one. What else we got here? There's Frege, Mason Marchment. Yep, $7 million. Take that. Owen Zellweger. We knew that was gonna happen. What else? Demidov getting paid this morning too. That one I've seen a lot, on my pre-stream walk that I was on, reading a lot of the notes that were coming out about this. And I tend to agree with a lot of it. I don't think it's an overpay, but I think it's an early payment for a player that we're still not 100% about. I would say like a lot of people are pretty in favor of Demidov at this point in his young career. I think he's going to be a great player. is he worth that much money right now? Probably not right now, but also at the same time, with the cap going up, these 8-year extensions they're going to no longer be a thing. I think it's a smart move to lock him up. It's just a hard price tag to see so early in his career, because as of last year, he was a rookie and he did put up good numbers last year. I don't know. I guess it's just a hard, I guess in my mind, it's hard to fathom that, because we also have to sign the Sharks. We also have to sign our young players in Macklin Celebrini. We know he's going to get a fucking boatload of cash. We also know Will Smith is probably going to be in the same realm of Demidov in terms of contract wise. So that's kind of where I'm at on this contract. I'm like, yeah, I already know we're going to pay Will Smith. I just don't know how much. If this is going to be the comparable, then yeah, that's kind of where I kind of feel about everything. We got Jaden Shorts heading to Colorado, 3 years, $3.25 million. Seattle, just, man, of all the teams that are out there that I want to have them make a splash, the Jason Robertson thing, I'm not going to go over that again, but having him turn down that contract and then them losing players, Jaden Schwartz, I think it was kind of time for him to move on. But at the same time, like, what pieces do they have in Seattle that are like exciting right now? I mean, Chase Reed, we know he's not going to be in the NHL this year. That will be exciting when he does come. But that young core they got over there in Seattle, for me, it's not doing much of anything. Kings signed Eric Hall 2 years. We knew that. Eric Hall, I enjoyed watching him when he was in New Jersey. I didn't watch much of it all. I guess I'm wearing like Nashville's colors today. I didn't watch much of Nashville's colors, much of their games last year at all. So I can't say too much about how he performed last year. But I was a fan of his when he was in New Jersey. Again, we went over to Cole Smith. What else we got going on here? Talked about that one already. Talked about Lusto. Yep. Who else? Zach Werenski. This one's going to be a hot watch all day long. It might not even be settled today. And we won't be streaming all day long today. We're just kind of just hanging out as things come in. I said trade deadline opened up 48 minutes ago. So it's still early in the day for me. Definitely early in the day for me. But we'll see how things shape up after the afternoon as we get into more into the summer. Yeah. I got to imagine a piece like Zach Werenski is going to take some. It's going to be some decisions that are going to need to be made, like on his end, like where he's going to really want to go. It's something that's going to have to be mulled over. I don't think it's going to be like one of those straight up, you're traded type of deal, because he's got a no move. So we'll see where he goes. And like I said, the talk is Tampa or possibly Toronto. I don't know. I don't know if he fits both those teams to be, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I mean, I think if Toronto does acquire Zach Werenski, that will keep Matthews. I gotta imagine they'll keep Matthews in place, especially after they acquired Gavin McKenna and now they got Colton Sissons. Not that Colton Sissons is like a huge piece for their team, but it definitely adds to that win now mentality. It's just a goaltending situation. Can you win with their goaltenders right now? If they're healthy, possibly. Stolarz, if he can stay healthy, for sure. Hildeby, we'll see. He played pretty good last year too, so I don't know. I fully expect Toronto to go out and find, possibly get Sergei Bobrovsky we're talking about. I can see that happening. It's just a matter of what that contract looks like and how much money they have left after, if they get Werenski and all that. But we'll see. Keep on scrolling. Let's see what else is popping off right now. I know I follow all these hockey accounts and they're all posting the same shit right now. Should just go check out. Okay, let's see. John Carlson's included on Carolina, but the Hurricanes could make a deal. Yeah. Okay, so nothing done with Carlson yet. the Sharks were talking about bringing him in. I think he's just too old for us. But again, like that veteran leadership, I would take that in the Sharks. Just a matter of like what you want to play there. And he was talking about he wanted to stay in the East. So I don't see it happen, but I would welcome it depending on the contract. And more so just guiding the younger guys on our team. We had Nick Robertson going to Pittsburgh earlier this morning in that one. Kyle Dubas, man. The Pittsburgh Maple Leafs, basically, at this point. What else? Tyson Forrester. 8 years, $7 million. All right. Matt Zuccarello, we went over that for the time being. Matt Zuccarello, still, I mean, honestly, surprised he's still playing, if I'm being honest. Oh, and Zellweger, we knew that. All right, so looks like not much has changed. I'm gonna go over, not so much in this stream right now. Like I said, we're just kind of just hanging. We're just chilling. But I will. Oh, here we go. Ilya Mikheyev headed to Tampa Bay 4 years. There was some rumors that he was possibly going to try to go back to Toronto. Obviously, that didn't happen. But the boy's getting paid. Boston Bruins. This was interesting. Not surprising either. The LA Kings have signed 4 players who by the start of next season will be 41, 39, 35, and 34. LA, man, trying to get over that hump of the first round. Getting some experience in their lineup, yeah, that'll definitely help, but I don't think it's going to help much. It's just a matter of, man, I don't think they have the pieces that are going to be necessary to go deep in the playoffs that would complement these signings right now. Like second round, possibly. But then we look at the first round last year in the West, and it was pillow fight, if we want to say that. But I think for sure the West is going to be deeper, faster next year going into the playoffs. And if LA can keep up, especially with these players that they just acquired, older players, that would be surprising. I can't see LA getting past the second round as we go into next year, if they even make the playoffs next year. Let's see. I'm waiting for that. Where's it at, man? Where's the big move? Where's the big move? Who's it going to be today? I think we're all, like I said, we're all kind of on pins and needles right now, waiting to see if it's going to be a Zach Werenski thing, a Sergei Bobrovsky signing somewhere. It's just a matter of what that contract's going to look like. I don't know. And Corey Perry still chasing that that Stanley Cup again, back in LA. I just think it's probably, for him, it was probably like the best offer he could probably get, and being that he probably has residence in that area, in SoCal area, playing in Anaheim, went back to LA last year, back there again. I gotta imagine this is probably just like one of those, like, just, I'm happy to keep playing. I don't think LA is gonna be anywhere sniffing a cup this year. So, I mean, also there is that Corey Perry tie to the Stanley Cup. Now that was broken this year, but yeah, I would be surprised if they even make it past the second round. There was talks too that he could potentially have went back to Edmonton this year, which, Edmonton, after they kind of blew it up at the end of last year, bringing back Corey Perry, Edmonton probably would have been beneficial to Edmonton right now. But at the same time, Edmonton's in a fucking weird spot right now. Like I said, today we're just kind of chilling. So if you're joining me here, what's up? Hope your day is going good so far. We're just kind of shooting the shit, going over what's happening across the league. If you're in Canada, happy Canada Day. Just going over, again, what's happening across the league. Nothing that's really like surprising right now in my eyes. Again, I'm just kind of waiting to see the Mason Marchman thing to San Jose. That one's kind of eye-opening because I'm a Sharks fan. So, you know, I will take that. But like I said, I'm waiting for a defenseman, us acquiring a defenseman. That's kind of like what I'm waiting for today, personally. But again, same time, I'm here for the drama, whatever drama it is that we do get. Ryan Lomberg on his way to Columbus. Someone wants to play in Columbus. But yeah, like I said, we got the World Cup playing behind me too, so I'm going to take a peek at the score. Oh, it's halftime. Works for me. And then we also have the USA playing today, so that's pretty sick. I'm trying to get a lot of things happening today in the sports world, in my sports world anyways, and I'm trying to do all this while getting my 15,000 steps for the day. So I've already gotten half of it done. So I can chill out for a little bit on here and hang with you guys and go over all the trades or not trades, but all the signings and shit. But it doesn't look like too much is happening at the moment. Like I said, I wish YouTube TV fucking had the NHL network. I don't know why it doesn't have it. You know what? I'm going to take a peek on something else, though. I'm going to have some dead air for a quick second. I'm going to check something on my other browser because I don't know if the point on ESPN is doing anything. Because if they were, that would be sick. You know, if you were here for my draft stream, you know, I like to play the audio of what's happening in the background. As things break down. Nope, doesn't look like anything's on ESPN at the moment. So ESPN, once again, letting us hockey fans down, not having much of an option when it comes to watching things. And then, you know what? I am going to check one more thing. I've been a pirate in my past life, if you know what that means. Let's see if my other backup works right now. It wasn't working earlier. I think it's because the World Cup is kind of throwing things out of whack. Yeah, it's not working anymore right now. So yeah, checking out what's happening. Doesn't look like much is going on right now. You know, let's take a look at the free agency tracker right now on Puckpedia. I'm going to pull up a different angle on this so we can get a full screen on this thing. There we go. Let's go back home. Let's see what else is happening there. 21 contracts signed. $426 million has been passed out so far. Nico Hischier, that one's also a big one too. We didn't talk about that one a couple minutes ago, but New Jersey locking up their captain. What was it? 5 more years? Yeah, 5 years at 11.7. There was talks about him potentially going for 12.5. Don't know how true that was, but I know my buddy Ace from, well, it was Running with the Devils. Now it is, I can't remember what the hell it is, Talking Devils, whatever it is. I know he's got to be happy. Ivan Demidov, we talked about that one. I think we're kind of on a collision course. I hope we're on a collision course in the near future of a Sharks Canadian Stanley Cup. Just seeing the two young teams who've been building their franchises for the past couple of years, that would be dope to see. I don't know, that's a pipe dream, but you know, be dope to see. Rasmus Andersson staying in Vegas, which is kind of surprising because I don't know about you guys, but I don't think Rasmus Andersson really fit that well in Vegas at least this year. He kind of looked lost like a majority of the time. Didn't notice him at all in the finals. So surprised that he's staying in Vegas, and Vegas wanted him and to keep him. So, and we know how Vegas is with their players. So that one a little surprising if I'm being 100% honest with you guys. Dan Vladar getting locked up in Philadelphia. Not surprised at all that one. He had a great playoff run this past season. Although he did let in some kind of iffy goals, those are all things that will eventually have to be corrected in his game. But at a cap at 5.5, not too bad for the Philadelphia Flyers. What else we got here? We already talked about E2. 8 years in Florida. Florida making moves. You know what? Let's look at Florida really quick. I want to know how much cap space they got. 2.9 cap space, so almost $3 million. They got some work to do. Who do they have that's still signed? Do they have? Let's see. Where's their depth chart? Oh man, these guys. And I mean, they got they got Racco Gudis for like what 1.5 million this morning. I can't remember. He'll show up here in a minute. But man, those guys. Oh yeah, there it is. Racco Gudis, 1.5 million for the next 6 years. Obviously, I don't think they're not gonna play out that contract. He can't. How old is he again? He's 36. So what? 42. I give or take another. Let's say maybe 2.5 years potentially. I don't see him playing out this contract at all. But if he doesn't have to play as much, potentially, yeah, maybe he could, but I highly doubt it. Now, the big question for them is what's their goaltending situation going to be? And we now know. I mean, that was the question going into it. Was Markstrom, and then we got Schmid. Markstrom had a rough year in New Jersey, man. It's going to be definitely a downgrade, from going from Bobrovsky to Markstrom, 100% across the board. I don't think anyone's going to argue that at all. But also at the same time, I don't think Markstrom's going to be that busy. You look at this lineup that they got right now, and if they're healthy next year, I don't think I don't think Markstrom's going to have that much to worry about. Yeah, there's going to be opportunities whoever they're playing against, for sure, 100%. But same time, if they're just straight up bullies on the ice and they're not, and they're just shutting teams down in their defensive zone, I don't think Markstrom's going to have to worry too much about him. Now, he is 36 years old. He's up there, which is kind of that's kind of why I'm I go back to the Sergei Bobrovsky thing. I know Sergei wants a crazy contract for his age. I'm just dude, I'm surprised they couldn't make that work somehow. So we'll see. Like I said, I was mentioning earlier, I don't know where Sergei Bobrovsky's going to wind up. We can check Twitter right now, see if anything's changed on that front. Rasovic signs with the Leafs. Okay. What else we got going on? We've talked about that already. We got Vitek Vanacek headed to the Isles. Not a bad one there. Stanley Cup winner, Vitek Vanacek, I should say. Yolson to Colorado. We'll look at Colorado's. I don't know how much cap space does Colorado have right now. Where's Colorado? They are right there. Colorado 1.2. They're scraping the barrel right now. And they have what? How many contracts? Oh, and they got their 21 already. Let's see what their depth chart's looking like. Where's depth chart? Top of here. There it is. Nope. Let's go. There's the new acquired Schwartz. Brinley. Man. I know they're going to try, that playoff run they had in the Western Conference Finals performance they had, I should say, against Vegas. That was really telling. And I just don't know if the moves that they're making, I mean, it's the first day of free agency. I mean, things are going to happen between now and then. I got to imagine Colorado's going to do something. They have to do something to perform better. I mean, I was just like, where the hell did they go in the Western Conference Finals? That was borderline. I mean, it wasn't borderline. It was straight up pathetic, man. We have any trades going down? Let's see. We went over the Nick Robertson one. The Maverick Bork and Ilya Lyubushkin one. That one, interesting, because we know about the drama that just happened. Let's pull up. We know about the drama that just happened in Dallas. What in Dallas and also Columbus to a degree. Nashville. Dallas making headlines for the wrong reasons, I think, right now. It's just like, okay, you're trying to acquire Zach Werenski. I get that. That move makes sense if it happens. But Zach Werenski rejecting that trade puts Thomas Hurley in a bad spot, awkward spot, I should say, or puts Dallas in an awkward spot. So that wasn't great for them yesterday. Now, Thomas Hurley is a great player. I would happily take that player on my team right now. He's no Zach Werenski, but he's also still like trying to develop into, he's like coming into his prime at this point in his career, or just getting ready to jump into it. Sorry, I'm getting notifications over here. I'm getting notifications all over the place on all my devices. I have everything's Apple, so everything lights up all at once at the same time. So if you see me getting distracted, that just notifications popping up. But yeah, going back to Dallas, after that drama that happened yesterday and this trade with Maverick Bork and Ilya Lyubushkin, you got to kind of, how much cap space does Dallas have? Let's go back. Let's look at Dallas's cap space. If I can find them, where they at? Dallas. 12.5. Are they making room for a Robertson signing? And we know like he wants something pretty big. What, north of at least 14? According to sources. I'm not a source at all. But that's a high cap hit for Jason Robertson, man. And if they're getting rid of like one of their defensive pairmen and one of their prospects in order to keep Jason Robertson, I mean, I don't know, man. That's gonna be, Dallas is kind of like in one of those spots right now where I'm just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Look at their D. Where's their D? Oh, where are players? Let's go get their D. Thomas Hurley. Yep, we know that one. I mean, their back end is pretty good for the time being. Was it Lyubushkin? Him getting traded? Not super drastic, but he also played with Thomas Hurley. So what that defensive pairing is going to be now, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really deep into the pipeline, Dallas's pipeline. So I don't know if they have someone coming up or if they have someone that can slide over and fit in there for him. But that one, again, that was an eyebrow raiser, I think, for majority of people out there today. Let's take a look at Twitter again. Let's see what's happening across the Twitter sphere. I'll pull up the browser cam. There it is. We're learning things together this morning, unless you're already dialed in like I am. Like I said, I got Discord open. I got Twitter. I got a couple other trackers that I built myself that are just like pinging me on things. So if you look down, if I'm looking off camera, just know I'm looking at what's happening across the world. But I also enjoy, I don't know if you guys are like me, I enjoy scrolling the Twitter feed on days like this just to see like all the shocking moments, like discovering things as like as they happen, or just be like, when the fuck did that happen? Like, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about scrolling Twitter on days like today. There's still, I think the Leafs, whatever Leafs reporters out there, Victor Arvidsson going to Detroit. 2-year contract. Detroit did something. If you're a Detroit fan, are you happy with this move? Let me know down in the comments. Dylan Larkin. I didn't talk about Dylan Larkin at all today because honestly, I don't think anything's going to happen with Dylan Larkin at all. if they do something, I would be very surprised. Like I said, I got the World Cup playing behind me, so I'm gonna take a peek. And England's still losing, so that's what that is. Desharnais unlikely to return for the San Jose Sharks. Sucks, but it is what it is. Jeffrey Viel, Tampa Bay, man. I've been looking at all the moves that Florida's been making, and I'm just like, as those moves were happening, I'm just like, is Tampa Bay gonna get? Are they gonna get bigger somehow? I mean, they have to. I mean, like, we know how those matchups play out when those two teams meet. If they meet again in the playoffs, right now it's already, I'm like, especially if it's the first round in the playoffs, if it's Tampa and Florida again, I think Tampa is just gonna get beat to shit, which would suck for us as hockey fans who don't have an interest in or have a what's the word I'm looking for? If they don't have an attachment to the series, they just want to see a 7-game series. I guess what I'm saying. I would love to see that series continue to go 7 and go the distance. I wouldn't care who would win, but I also feel like Tampa right now. Like I said, I feel like they're a smaller team right now. They might get punked in that series. So whatever Tampa does, I don't think Tampa's done by a long shot, especially not today. I mean, they could be done today, but I meant this off season. So we'll see how those things play out in there. Again, today's Canada Day, 159th birthday. Canada, if you're a Canadian, what's up? Hope your homies are doing good up north. I'm very close to the border. I'm actually not too far away. So send a love. July 4th is coming up. That should be some fun times. We also have, like I said, today, I don't know if you guys are World Cup fans or soccer fans to any degree, we have the USA playing today. I know this is not a soccer or football broadcast, but that's a big one for the United States. And then we also have Sharks fans. If you're a Sharks fan and you're here, we also have, I think our prospect scrimmage is today. I think I have to double check again. Again, we're just scrolling. We're just hanging out. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. I hope your team is making some kind of moves, and hopefully they're favorable moves for you. If not, that's the life of an NHL fan, man. I'm just, like I said, my big worry for me today is if we acquire one of two defensemen. If it's going to be Darnell Nurse, I hope to God it's not Darnell Nurse. I don't want that. I'll take them if they want to retain some money on that contract. 100% I will. I would say like it would have to be a good majority, but I don't think Edmonton's trying to do that. I think all the reports are like, no, we're not really interested in doing that. I don't blame them. So I really don't want Darnell Nurse. I will take the snarl in his game, just not at that price. And then also there's talks like Morgan Riley potentially coming to being traded, and that one I can see somewhat of a resurgence, but at the same time, not my favorite at the moment. What else do we got going on across this Twitter sphere? Let's go back to Puckpedia, see if there's anything that's popping off right now. It's like things have kind of slowed down for the time being, which is kind of to be expected. Free agency, the big players, the big names, unless we kind of already know, like going into free agency, it's kind of always the same. It's kind of like the smaller mid-6 players usually kind of get their deals out of the way, and then like the bigger moves kind of happen later in the day. So that's kind of what I'm expecting if any moves do happen. Again, the big one for me, I'm not on this Zach Werenski to Toronto thing at all, really. I'm like, to me, I'm just like, the only reason I would see him going to Toronto, I think his wife has ties there. His wife's from that area. I can't remember. But the other reason would be Austin Matthews. Playing with Austin Matthews, playing for a team that has been in the playoffs. Now, we don't know if they're going to make the playoffs this year. I think all directions, all signs kind of point that they could be scratching that. But, man, the East is fucking as thick over there. What team isn't going to make the playoffs next year? That's the hard question, because there's going to be one team next year in the East that's, I would feel like a majority of people feel like they should be in, but obviously not everyone can make the dance. So I think Toronto could be one of those teams that could be on the cusp of making the playoffs. Adding Gavin McKinnon definitely will help, but do you trust a Toronto Maple Leafs team going up a Florida Panthers team? I don't. I don't. I feel like they're gonna get punked, and we don't know what's gonna happen with Max Domi. At least I haven't seen any updates with Max Domi. I think he's like the only snot they have on their team right now, or anyone willing to do anything. But also at the same time, I think Toronto definitely needs Stuart Skinner to the Jets. 2 years, $3.5 million. Now, what does that mean? I didn't even talk about Connor Hellebuck. He's not on the thumbnail, but Connor Hellebuck, that's another big name that we haven't talked about. And I think that one's going to be really interesting. I would be, I don't know where he's going to go. If you guys have any thoughts on where you think Connor Hellebuck is going to wind up and land, let me know down in the comments. There is a lot of talk of him potentially going to New Jersey. New Jersey is interesting for me. I don't think they're one of those like on the cusp of like, they could go deep if they can like stay healthy, if Jack can stay healthy. And yeah, if they get good goaltending, which that would add to that solution. I think they could make a push, but again, I think they could be like one of those teams, like kind of like how Ottawa was last year, just like one of those wild card teams. Because again, like I said, the East is deep, man. I don't know who they would like. I don't see them. Let's take a look. Hang on 1 second. I want to see their cap space too. After they signed 9.7. What is their where is it? There's depth chart. Let's look at their depth chart right now. Last Rodriguez. Oh yeah, adding Rodriguez definitely helps. Okay, let's look at their now. That was their defense. That was the one I was highly in on acquiring Nemec for the Sharks as a defense. We need defense, obviously. I was pumping that horn a lot last year. Obviously didn't happen. I could see it. It's just like a matter of can they stay healthy and can they get goaltending? I don't know where they're going to wind up in the standings, but I could see it. And that's if they acquire some goaltending, which right now, based on this signing, you got to think there's something's going to happen with Connor Hellebuck. I mean, that's what all signs point to right now at this point in time. If Connor Hellebuck does go somewhere else, I think all signs right now are just pointing to New Jersey, but things do happen. And I'm trying to think where else he would want to go. I don't know where he'd want to go. Stuart Skinner. There it is. Stuart Skinner again. I think one team that I think could definitely benefit from Connor Hellebuck that I don't think will happen. But again, this is the day where crazy things happen, and I would love to actually see it happen just for all the drama that would pop off. But what if the Oilers acquired Connor Hellebuck? I don't know how it would happen. But I think it would make for a very interesting Oilers team next year. I talked about Jordan Binnington possibly going to the Oilers. I think it makes them better for sure. But getting Connor Hellebuck would make them way better, and it would make that it would make those two players, you know who I'm talking about, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, would make them, I gotta imagine, would give them extra gas in the tank if they hit the playoffs with Connor Hellebuyck in net for them, and they could go back to the cup. You know, I see no reason why not right now, but those are just thoughts. Those are the thoughts that we have on days like this. You know, we'll see where Connor Hellebuyck gets moved to, but also that kind of winds up. What is the goaltending situation in Pittsburgh now? I forget who their goalies are. Let's refresh this. Nothing, no new signings there. It hasn't updated yet. Where is Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh. There we go. Oh, they got some cap space too, man. Holy shit. Oh, yeah, look at the Russia, though. Fuck. They have really no one signed really past. Oh, my God. Who is that? Blake? I don't even know who the fuck that is. Yeah, Pittsburgh has some work to do for sure. Who's their goaltending? Let's look at their... Where are their... Arthur Shilos. Oh, my God. Dude, what are the Penguins doing right now? What the... This has got to be Sidney Crosby's last year. This has got to be Sid's last year, man. I know they made the playoffs last year, and that was pretty damn lucky them getting the playoffs last year. And I honestly, Stuart Skinner definitely like not a playoff player in my mind at all. I've said that for years. Last year proved it. Arthur Shilos, we saw him come in the playoffs last year, but we also saw him when he was with Vancouver and he had that crazy run, 3 years ago? Crazy for him. But their goaltending situation in Pittsburgh, I mean, their whole team situation in Pittsburgh that one's interesting. I mean, Kyle Dubas, let's see what you got, man. Who else we got? I think popping off right now. Trevor Van Riemsdyk. I mean, I guess that helps. He's what? 36? Oh, he's going to be 34. Hey, here we go. Let's go. Mason Marchment. Bringing up the old tweets from 2013. Hell yeah. If you're just tuning in right now and you don't know, I'm a huge Sharks fan, so I'm super stoked on that move. I'm getting more and more excited about that move as I think about it in my head. But yeah, if you're new here, what's up? Hit the like button, subscribe button. We're just kind of kicking the shit today, just chilling, talking about what's happening across the board and what's happening across the league. Let's see. That's another one too. Scott Laughton. Kind of wondering where he was going to go. I was in favor before we acquired Marchment this morning that I thought he might be a good piece for the Sharks. I mean, he could be a good piece for a lot of teams out there. But the way I saw him play in Philadelphia and we saw him play how he played in Toronto before he got traded to LA. I think he actually had a better performance in LA, in my opinion, just as far as like a whole player, not really on the score sheet as much, but I thought that was a player that we could take for sure. We got Kiefer Sherwood now on the Sharks, who has that kind of in his game. But I like Scott Laughton, so we'll see what's happening there. There was talks about he could potentially go back to Toronto. Blank on the name. I read Vancouver, and I'm like, that's not where he was. Paul Cotter to Vancouver. Surprised. I mean, I'm surprised to a degree that they let Paul Carter walk in New Jersey, especially 1 year, 2.5 in Vancouver. It's not going to be much money in your pocket there, buddy, but Vancouver, I don't even want to know. Islanders signing Manzelli. Okay. Paul Connor, we just talked about that one. Matthias Michelli. Yeah. That's another one. Professor Hockey. Big Sharks fan. Big move, not just because the player or the contract, but it means someone from the currently set top 9 is on the way out. Let it be Ty Dellandrea, please. I don't know why we signed that one. Now, Ty Dellandrea is not in the top 9, but yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Sharks and what they're doing. Dylan Lark trades hinges on one player. Jeez. Oh, I did see that this morning too. As I was walking on my walk this morning. Looks like if the talk is the trade's going to be to Minnesota, I think it was like Stevie Y was like, he's like, Matt Boldy has to be in this deal. And I don't think that can't happen. Let's just click on the link just to see if it is. Yeah, Matt Boldy. The Red Wings have no problem trading Dylan Larkin to the Minnesota while they're prepared to part with Matt Boldy. Other than Boldy, there is nothing else Detroit's GM Stevie is too interested in. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I mean, unless you want to if you can get Quinn Hughes, that'd be sick, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. Joe Leno, New York. Philadelphia. Sabres. That's the other thing. What is Sabres working with? They got some fucking cash this year, don't they? That was the other team that was blanking on when we were talking about Connor Hellebuyck. There was talks that Connor Hellebuyck would waive for Buffalo, which is crazy. That's like a fucking complete 360. I mean, Buffalo was a complete 360 all around compared to last year or the start of the year. But if Connor Hellebuyck signs or gets traded to Buffalo, one, I want to know what the package is, like we all do. Like, it's got to be a goaltender plus someone else. But that would make things really interesting, because I don't think Buffalo necessarily lost because of goaltending last in these playoffs. There was like what was it? It was a game or two in there where goaltending definitely affected it, but granted that it was the first time they had been in the playoffs. Now that they know what it takes to win in the playoffs, I would be okay running that tandem back. Again, I'm speaking from a fan who just casually watched the Buffalo Sabres throughout the year, and I definitely pay attention in the playoffs. But I think they could have ran those two back, and I don't want to say could go to the Cup, but they could scratch the Eastern Conference Finals again with that tandem. But at the same time, if you get Connor Hellebuyck, and Connor Hellebuyck plays like gold-winning medal game Connor Hellebuyck, I can see that work, because I also seen Connor Hellebuyck in the playoffs enough to know if you put him up against a good team like the Colorado Avalanche, Connor Hellebuyck kind of disappears. And do you want to put all your eggs in that basket? The gold medal definitely helps. That performance was great from Connor Hellebuyck, but he's playing for a gold medal. I know playing for a Stanley Cup and playing for a gold medal are two different things. Did something just happen behind me? I'm sorry. I got the World Cup playing behind me if you're just tuning in. So I saw something happen on the screen right there. I was like, oh shit, looks like someone scored. But I've seen Connor Hellebuyck enough to know that, yeah, playing for a Stanley Cup and playing for a gold medal, they're two different things, right? It's not, 16 games that you need to win the Stanley Cup? It's not that, obviously the Olympics are a whole other animal. And we wish we can get more of that, which we will in the World Cup, but Olympics is different. So seeing Connor Hellebuyck win the gold medal was no surprise really to me. Seeing him in the playoffs, that's where it always kind of gets me. Connor Hellebuyck just, in my opinion, just seems to disappear like when you need him the most in the playoffs. And if he has one bad game early on, it seems to kind of linger for him for some reason. I don't know why. It just does. And as he's gotten older, maybe winning the gold medal has helped him understand that this is the way you got to play, you know. And if they have like their tandem, if it's going to be Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen going the other way, you know, that would be I think that would be favorable for the Jets. 100% it would be. But then Alex Lyon played pretty good as well, and he's like, you know, they were riding him, you know, towards the end there, and it seemed to be working out pretty good. So having he's 33, man, I don't know. Just the age thing for me, like I know, I'm gonna assume the Jets are gonna want Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in return if they do that goalie trade because of his age and his cap hit. You know, I mean, you can take your pick. You know, Alex Lyon as well, but Alex Lyon is also, he's a little bit older. I mean, not a little bit, he's a lot older. He's 6 years older. And like Connor Hellebuyck's 33 as well, right? I think he is. Let's see, where's the Winnipeg Jets? Winnipeg. Let's go down, take a look at our boy Connor. He's 33 as well. So, you know, you're definitely going to want Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in that one. Lower cap hit, younger, and they just got Stuart Skinner. I don't feel like that would be a bad tandem. I don't think that's going to be a Stanley Cup winning tandem. I don't think that at all. But it makes them younger, not so bad either. You know, if that makes any sense. Like, definitely losing Connor Hellebuyck would be a downgrade, but at the same time, those are just the goaltenders. Like, what other players do they get back if they make that trade? I think there was talks that they wanted Zach Benson. If that's true, who knows? But obviously, he's one of the untouchables right now for the Buffalo Sabres, as they just signed him to his new deal. So that's obviously not going to happen. But I don't know, in terms of Buffalo, like who they would give up to make that trade happen. Let's take a peek at the Twitter sphere if anything else is happening across the globe. What's up, buddy? How are you? Thanks for tuning in. We're just chilling. Are they tuning? Are they getting Sergei Bobrovsky? Because that's not what I saw. But it is what it is, man. We'll see if it happens. Thanks for joining me today. Like I said, today we're just kind of hanging, chilling, just kind of seeing what's happening across the league as they happen. And like I said, for the most part, it looks like things have slowed down a little bit. I don't know what the fuck that is, but don't care to stop on it or read it. Frank Zaravelli. Let's see. If I'm John Chaika, I'm reading the situation, and your only other competition is the Lightning. I'm not putting Matthew Nyes on the table. You know, Tampa can offer a ton. Yeah. I think we've all kind of heard that he's going to be going to Tampa, or not Tampa, but to the Leafs. Okay. Yeah, I heard that too. Let's see. He says for Connor Hellebuyck, Sabres going to send Quinn, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, marked it, and 27 first for Hellebuyck. Very possible. Very possible. We'll see though. Like I said, I'm waiting for this shit to kind of like start popping off. I think we're gonna see some moves What time is it right now? It is 10:35 my time, so that's what, 3 hours. So 1:35 Eastern. Typically, we see like the big moves. Like I've always seen the big moves. History has always showed me the big moves have happened later in the day. So we'll see where things go, how things pan out later in the day. Let's see. Mario, as expected, the longest. That's old news. We ain't worried about that. Who hasn't signed? That's a good thing. Let's see. Let's take a look at. Taking a look at the list here. Whoa, let's pull up a different camera because you guys can't see all that. Let's pull up the other camera. There we go. Let me move this off my screen over here. See what's popping over here. I saw that. I just talked about Zach Benson, but it was declined for good reason, and I understand that one at all. Let's see. Can I scoot this over that way? Let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right. Unrestricted free agents. Big ones being Sergei Bobrovsky. That one's going to be the big one. I've talked about that plenty enough, like enough on here, and how much money he's going to want. Are you? Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. Oh, you're talking about throwing out an offer sheet. I thought you said there was an offer sheet. I was about to say, what? Where was that? Hang on one second. Looking at the unrestricted free agents right now, in terms of how things are going. Sergei Bobrovsky's out there. We know that. Alex Ovechkin. I gotta imagine he's coming back for 1 year. I mean, again, I've spoke about this already. If he's trying to get 1,000 goals and that's his mindset going into it, the dude's just going to be a power play merchant, which he still has the shot. He still can score. I still don't think it will happen anytime soon. It might be kind of 2 years if that ever does happen. If he continues scoring at the rate he's been scoring. Patrick Laine out there. Patrick Laine is he's just like Ovi signed with the Pens. I doubt it, man. I doubt it. Patrick Laine, he's one of those players out there. Just crazy. I was thinking about this the other day. Crazy to think that we had Austin Matthews. When these players were getting drafted, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Austin Matthews or Patrick Laine? Obviously, we know who number one is now at this point in time. Crazy to think that we went from that debate back. Well, I don't even remember what year it was. I think I got drafted to where we are now, and Patrick Laine is just a shell of himself as a player, and it's just a stark contrast to see how far he fell off compared to an player like Austin Matthews. And I think it's funny enough that I'm talking about this now because I think it wasn't when he went to Columbus, he was the one saying like, oh, the Columbus locker room, they were jerks, they were dicks, they were whatever. To Patrick Laine, and then Zach Werenski went out and did his little locker room, interview or whatever. It was like, no, we were good to him and yada yada yada. And now we have Zach Werenski like, get me the fuck out of here. And Patrick Laine is like pointing fingers like, see, I told you. But Patrick Laine, for that cap hit, let's see, where's he at? Let's pick on him right now. Where's he at? He's under free agency. He's got nothing right now. I can't imagine. I don't know what he's asking for or what teams are willing to pay for him, but I can definitely say it's not going to be $8.7 million. It can be. I can see him going to, if he really wants to continue playing in the league, I can see him going to Vancouver because Vancouver is going to need some players. So just throwing it out there. What if we see him in Vancouver? John Carlson, Carolina did have his rights up until a point, so we'll see where this goes. That back end for Carolina, if they do sign John Carlson, nasty. I mean, it was nasty to begin with, and just having him adding another piece to it would be crazy. But also considering how deep the Florida Panthers are right now, you're gonna need defense. But also going back to Florida, how they're building their team, how they built their team right now. One, it's old, definitely older. But the grit that all their players right now bring to their team, they could easily just beat the hell, like physically beat up the Carolina Hurricanes and just walk them. Because we didn't see much of that fight at all from Carolina last year or this last cup run. They didn't have to fight anybody. I mean, there was a good matchup there against Ottawa early on in the first round, but it's like I think Ottawa was just trying to do whatever they can to get under the skin of Carolina because Carolina was obviously the better team. But also Ottawa and Florida are two different animals, and if there's one team that I think can get under the skin of everybody on that team, it's the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers can get under everyone's skin. So it was no surprise there. But John Carlson, if he does stick around, be nasty. Jacob Trouba, I don't know where Jacob Trouba winds up. I did see, let's see, Matthew Kessel to the Islanders. Let's take a peek. Let's see what's happening on the Twitter world here. I don't know where you're watching, if you're watching anywhere. But I'm just strictly relying on Twitter at this moment. Ryan Johansson, the Canucks have Luke Shen, 1 year contract. Full on rebuild right now. Full on rebuild happening in Vancouver. Definitely need it. Matt Kessel, there it is. To the Islanders, one way. Luke Shin just talked about that one. Nothing really too crazy popping off at the moment. So yeah, Jacob Trouba. Don't know where Jacob Trouba winds up. I think that's kind of open across the board where Jacob Trouba could go. Now, just thinking out loud, let's pull up. I'm going to pull up another browser really quick on this one. Let's go to teams. I'm going to move this. Oh, whoa. Move this over here. There we go. Let's go to teams. And we're going to go to, let's look at Tampa. Where's Tampa? Why am I missing Tampa? There it is. Looking for the blue logo. What does Tampa look like on the back end right now? They did just lose Darren Radish. I could see Jacob Trouba being that piece. I did talk about Florida earlier, about Florida just being the bigger bully in the fight of Tampa and Florida. Jacob Trouba can bring some of that. If we can see New York Rangers Jacob Trouba in Tampa, I could see that working out. Who else? We got Kevin Hayes. Anders Lee, that's the other one I'm not worried about, but interested to see where he goes. I know he probably wants to go to contender, and at his age 35. Where does he, what team is going to pick him up? Is he from Minnesota? Let's see. Anders Lee. Yeah, he's from Minnesota. Oh, yeah, Cake Eater. I forgot. Could he fit in Minnesota's lineup? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're a contender. That's the only reason I'm putting them in Minnesota is because they can. I mean, if they can get past Colorado, they could probably contend. I got my dog in here right now. The dude just laid a gnarly fart on me. Oh, tie game World Cup 1-1. All right. So honestly, that's the one I'm keeping kind of just interested to see where he winds up at. You know, if he does wind up back in Long Island, I wouldn't be surprised either. But I think that team is just they're getting younger, and they gotta. I think it's just a mutual. Like it's time to move on. Who else we got here? Oliver Bjorkstad. I would take him. There were talks about him potentially going to San Jose, and if you're a Sharks fan here, you know I'm a Sharks fan too, and I'll take him in my lineup right now. What does he want? That's the big question. Who's Dennis Gilbert? I have no idea who Dennis Gilbert is. Where am I at? Tampa Bay. That's not where I want to be. I want to be in. Let's just go to home. Let's see where they're at. Not a lot of moves going on at the moment. We haven't seen much. Who have we not seen much from at all today? I'm looking at the team list. St. Louis. I don't think St. Louis has done much at all today, did they? What does their goaltending situation look like? Yeah. Not much from St. Louis today. Seattle. That's the other team. I'm just like, man. $18 $18 million in cap space. They did just sign Mackie Samoskevich today. We know that. We knew that was coming up. Matty Beniers, Chandler Stevenson. There's no way he's gonna play out that contract. Bobby McCann, they just signed him not too long ago. Jordan Eberle, Jared McCann. There's got to be some moves that Seattle makes. There has to be. No, Shane Wright was on the table, potentially on the table. Tolvainen, he's out there right now. Defensively, who they got? Yeah, man, Seattle, man. They're my home state team. Would I offer sheet Connor Bedard? As a Sharks fan? Or in general? I mean, it depends, because I'm looking at it from a Sharks fan perspective. I would definitely entertain it. But also at the same time, like, we have to pay our players before we get to that. Because I think not at 20, I honestly wouldn't do it at 20 million. Maybe if I was like the Blues, just to fuck with Chicago, I would do that. But also, if you're talking about Seattle, I think Seattle should definitely explore that. How much cap space? Buffalo only has like 8 right now. Let's take a look. I'll take a look with you. We just went over not too long ago. Yeah, 7.8 right now. That's what they got. So, but yeah, offer sheeting Connor Bedard. I would welcome it if it was Seattle. 100% I would. I think. Oh, England just scored again. I think Seattle's been taking swings and they've just been striking out, obviously, with Jason Robertson. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know Connor Bedard. I gotta imagine he's probably a little perturbed, like the rest of us or Chicago fans. You know, especially with that Bowen Byram trade that they made for the fourth overall. Reports were that he was happy that they got Bowen Byram, but if they don't acquire more pieces, I would be interested to know what his next contract with Chicago would be like. They got 29.3 in cap space right now. Connor Bedard, 20 years old. I mean, who else are they going to pay on this team? Jordan Greenway, he probably will walk next year. Andrew Mangiapane, he's probably out. Teuvo Teravainen. I feel like the Sabres clear cap easily and then maybe get Bedard. I don't know, man. Do they need Bedard really at this point? Like, I think any team would be happy to take Connor Bedard from the Chicago Blackhawks, but what you have to give up in order to get that's a lot. And let's see. Hang on. Let's see. There was a where is it? If it's still on here. There was what teams are available for offer sheets, and it would say, if I can find it. It was on here. I don't know why they would move it. So tired of this damn pop-up over here. Let me find it because that was interesting to see as well. Gangland players. No, we don't want to look for players specifically. Offer sheets. Here we go. Okay, I'll pull it up right now. All right. Teams that can offer sheet this year at 1.9 and above, or above 1.9. Damn near pretty much everybody. But look what you got to give up. And we know Connor Bedard is going to probably make, I would assume they're probably going to, if Bowen Byram is the most expensive or the most expensive contract you have on a team, Connor Bedard should definitely dwarf that. Or, you know what I mean? Should be like 13.5, 4 million, 14 million. I think that's just like kind of like the going rate. What I think the going rate for high caliber players like a Connor Bedard is going to be. Not necessarily I think he deserves it, but I think as he gets older. Whoa. Sorry. We got some breaking news. We'll get back to that conversation in a second. Jacob Trouba to San Jose Sharks. Gut reaction. Gut reaction is okay. That's awesome. A 4-year contract. Hold on. We got to look at the details on this one. Sounds like Sharks now. 8.25? Bro, come on. $8.25 million for 4 years for Jacob Trouba. Bro, hang on. Where'd he go? How did he do in Anaheim last year? I don't know, man. I don't know about that one, man. That one's fucking bad, dude. I can't get behind that one. What are fans saying? No. Everyone so far I've seen on these comments, $8.25 million for fucking 4 years, buddy. You're smoking something on that one. There's no way in hell. I can't get behind that at all. Exactly. What? That's fucking... Yeah. I mean, let's look at the positives here. There's not many. But I was just saying, if Jacob Trouba can play like he did in New York and still has that, you know, bastardness to his game, we, the Sharks team, we do need that. We've got to get bigger. We look at the Vegas Golden Knights, you know, if we want to compete eventually, we're going to need to get bigger. This move definitely helps in that capacity. He can also teach our younger guys, you know, Keaton Verhoff, you know, if Keaton's in the lineup or even close to being there. No, man. I'm going to tell you right now, no, you're not going to get Celebrini, buddy. No, I'm not even on that right now. But this one, yeah, man. I'm trying to look at the positives. I'm just kind of shocked that this happened the way it did. And right now, I'm just baffled. We're clipping that one. I'll tell you that. We're clipping that one. $8.25 million for fucking 4 years. Give me a break with that. Give me a break. Whoa, hang on. I do believe the Sergei Bobrovsky to Toronto arrival is upon us, per Elliot Friedman. Let's refresh the feed. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I mean, until it's official, we'll wait. No chance at all, man. Don't even bring that shit to my table. No Celebrini. If you gotta like offer sheet Celebrini like $30 million, I would imagine. And even then, I still think Mike River would be like, nope, not happening. We'll match. I'm just waiting to see if you're tuning in right now. We're waiting to see. Friedman just reported Bobrovsky to Toronto. So that's kind of what I'm waiting to pop up, to make it official, to make it Twitter official, I guess. Man, Toronto fans are going to be cream themselves. Now are they going to carry 3 goaltenders? That's the other question. And I really want to know what this contract looks like. It's got to be, please, I hope it's worse. I hope it's worse than fucking the contract Jacob Trouba just signed for my Sharks. Hang on, I'm trying to fucking, where is it? There it is. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing something on my end on the other screen over here. I hope it's worse. Give me a little bit of relief on this Jacob Trouba contract that was just dealt to him. I wasn't doubting you, man. I wasn't doubting you. It's just a matter of did I think he wanted to? I mean, it's Toronto, you know. But also, I'm like, was Edmonton not? I know Edmonton. Okay, hang on. Before I even go down that fucking road, let's go. I know Edmonton doesn't have a lot of cap space. 7.5. What does Toronto have? 16. Okay, so I know. I already heard all the talks about Toronto's cap space and Edmonton's cap space. I want to know what the deal is, because if it's something that Edmonton could afford. Oh, there's the goalie right there. Oilers have acquired Devin Levi from the Sabres in exchange for a 3rd-round pick. Okay. Hang on. A week's of talking here.
Let's go. Breaking news. Let's go.
3-year contract, news. According to Kevin Weeks. Exactly. How much? We all want to know how much. How much is Sergei Bobrovsky going to get paid in Toronto? Jeff Merrick, Jason Robertson. Sounds like he's getting $14 million or something close to it. So again, going back to my Dallas conversation I was having earlier, I definitely think they were trying to make it happen based on their moves that they made this morning, trying to clear up cap space. But also at the same time, 14 mil, you better fucking live up to that shit. Otherwise, Dallas fans are probably going to be fucking pissed. Not right now. You know, I would imagine they're probably happy right now. If that comes true. But at the same time, we got to Devin Levi. There was talks about that happening. I mean, I think it was on 32 Thoughts they were talking about it. Not last episode or the episode before. There was talks of that going to be a potential thing happening. Yeah. Definitely a Mike Greer guy. Let's go back to the face cam. What's up, Raider Savage, Greer guy, Sherwood, Marchment, Trouba. Yeah, I agree, man. I just don't agree with the contract. That's the only thing I'm like. 8.25 for 4 years for Jacob Trouba. How is he getting away with this? That's what I want to know. I feel like Jacob Trouba is just like, I've watched him enough you know, in his back, even going back to when he played in New York. Even when he played in New York, I was like, damn, he's getting fucking paid for this. And here we are signing him ourselves for that contract. But if he's going to bring that grit to the game for the Sharks, I'll take it. I'll take it. Is it official? Is it official? Let's see. 3 years, $7 million for Sergei Bobrovsky in Toronto. So $21 million cap hit over 3 years. It is official like a referee with 3 whistles, my guys. Again, my big question now is, does Toronto carry 3 goalies? Let's see. I doubt it's refreshed yet, but we'll take a look anyways. I know. Let's see. Let's take a look. I would like to see like the fan reaction for like, especially Alex Kerfoot to Nashville, 2 years, $3.5 million. Matthias Michelli signs. Who did he sign? Islanders, that's right. Leafs Nation. Let's go check them out. Let's see how they're reacting to all this. Honestly, I could. Excuse me. Toronto. Oh my God. Okay, let's take a look at.
For the in the Atlantic.
Pause on 1 second. Let's get the Cap Shark. Hart Levine. Puckpedia has some details on Mason Marchment and San Jose.
You're sitting, right? You're sitting down? Mason Marchment, 4 years.
Oh, wow.
All right, Sharks going back down into the water.
Hang on.
Okay, that's not live right now. Let's pull up.
Okay. You got the same deal as Marchment? But Trouba and Marchment are the same?
8 times 5, 4 times 8.25. Yeah, identical contracts. First of all, great for the Marchment family. That is a sentimental one too. It's a great play by San Jose. Quality player, talented guy. Cap Shark breaking the big news. 4 years, 8.25 is the AAV for Mason Marchment. Carter Hutton, you say what to this?
Yeah, I spent a year in San Jose. I was in Worcester, and I spent a month up in the NHL, about 12 or 14 games backing up Antti Niemi. And then I was a black ace during there when they lost the conference final to the Vancouver Canucks. Brian Marchment.
I don't know if this is live right now because it seems like we kind of knew that news already. But it says live, but fuck it.
Going back, a cultural thing there too, and there's a lot of pride there.
I'm waiting to see all the fan reactions from Maple Leafs on the Maple Leafs news.
Playing against them with the Pavelskis and the Thorntons and the Marlows, everyone they had. This is going to be a good team for a lot of years to come here.
Should we go back?
No, go quick. What do you got?
No, it's all good. Were we gonna go back to Hart maybe? Sorry.
No, we're actually.
That's Jacob Trouba, not the Marchment deal.
Let's use it right back to Earth because this one is a massive one. So you got something else, Tyler?
I was just gonna say, Hart's messaging us. He got Marchment and Trouba confused. So Trouba's.
Yeah, see, exactly.
All right, and what's Marchment then?
$7
I'm
million.
not 100% sure. I don't think we know yet. The team hasn't announced yet. So just thought I'd clean that up to get everyone on the same page.
I was so happy for Mason Marchment. I really hope he gets that contract out of the San Jose Sharks. But nonetheless, Sergei Bobrovsky, the latest big news.
There we go.
To the Toronto Maple Leafs, 3 years.
This is the news I'm always interested in watching.
Let's get to Vancouver, Irvine Gaffar, and then Morning Cup.
Just to get instant reactions from Toronto moves because it's fucking Toronto, right? Like.
All right, let's get right to it. Colby, Sergei Bobrovsky, 3 years. $7 million a season to the Toronto Maple Leafs. They take care of a need in goaltending. Do they still try to move everything, move mountains to maybe see if Zach Werenski is going to be someone that will try and end up there?
Well, it sounds like that's all cooled down. I mean,
Colby looking fucking rough right now.
Whatever. There's been some reports. Traeger reported it amongst others. I'm sure DP's all over this as well. But it's
all right.
Like Werenski.
We're done here with this. I just want to see instant reaction, and that was kind of funny to see the instant reaction of them getting the fucking Mason Marchment deal. Fucking getting that one wrong. Let's turn the fucking beats back on. There it is. There we go. All right. Interesting day so far. I honestly, I didn't think it would be my team that would be surprising me with the contract that Jacob Trouba got, but here we are. Yeah, interesting. Bobrovsky to Toronto. Like I said, that was always the rumor, so I'm not surprised by that at all. I'm just more like, I want to know what their plans are here now. And if they get Zach Werenski, Leafs fans are already unbearable, but goddamn, they will be. Whew. That one's wrong. But yeah. England advances. They win. So there we got our answer there. England won today, as is behind me right now. You can't see it right now. Was on. There it is. But yeah. If you guys are here hanging out with me, I appreciate it. Do me a fat solid. We're going to keep going here for a little bit, but hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And yeah, we'll see how else this day plays out right now, because we're all kind of waiting on what the Zach Werenski thing is going to be. Not that Sergei Bobrovsky signing has kind of hit the airwaves and we're talking about it. It's just a matter of what other crazy shenanigans can some of these teams pull off here. It's still early in the off season. But honestly, like for my team, the Sharks, San Jose Sharks, I'm not super upset. I like the move, the Mason Marchment signing. I like the Jacob Trouba signing minus the contract. But we need to spend money. And I gotta imagine there's probably, I gotta pull up my Puckpedia again. Let's see where the San Jose Sharks are at right now. San Jose. I don't know if they've updated the cap space yet, but we still got some holes to fill. Who's going to be the odd one out here after that Mason Marchment but acquisition? I don't know who it's going to be. I know Barca Goodrow's probably he's got some protection. Tower to Foley, maybe? There was some talks of Tyler Toffoli being possibly going to Toronto in exchange for the Morgan Riley deal, if that deal was ever going to come about. But I got to imagine now that we got Jacob Trouba, that deal probably won't happen. But I don't know. We'll see. Things are shaking and moving right now. Oh, God, I can't. I'm just also reading Twitter right now too. I'm like, can you imagine if the Leafs just are ass with all these moves? Like the Radish deal, Bobrovsky, obviously, Gavin McKenna, and what if they're just ass this year? Can you imagine the shitstorm that's going to happen in Toronto if that happens? I'll be here for all of it. But, I got to imagine it's just Leaf fans are going to be fucking unbearable this year. I mean, they're always unbearable, but I can actually tolerate them more so than I can Habs fans. But you think Gaudette might be the odd man out, huh? What is this? Let me pull up Puckpedia. What's he making again? Because it is, oh, yeah, $2 million. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I think he's definitely like a bargaining chip. I think he's a bargaining chip. If like they need to make a trade, you know, if you got to put up Barkey Goodrow and Adam Gaudette, obviously Adam Gaudette is probably the better player there. But you know, for the most part, I liked Adam Gaudette on the fourth line last year. He had spurts there where he was pretty good. Let's look at their depth chart. Where is it? There it is. Stenberg, Celebrini, Smith, top line. Doesn't even make $3 million. I'll take that all day long. I did see a message pop up. Hang on one second. We need to bring back Shaq, sign one more vet. Greer needs to save cap for Graf, Smith, and Mac. I wonder where the cap is now. That's what I'm wondering too. I want to know where the cap goes after the moves. Obviously, I could do some quick math in my head, but at the same time, I am trying to do a couple things at once and not just wait. Toffoli, Wenberg, Sherwood. I definitely don't think that is the second line. I definitely think Chernyshov's got to be up there. Yeah, man. It's got to be Goodrow. He's got to be. I don't know, man. I last year I was not. What the fuck? You can't tell me that's real. Don't try to get me, bro. Connor McDavid just got traded to Pittsburgh. Account name, NHL Trade Chaos. Think you're fucking trying to gaslight me, buddy. If that happened, I would imagine my fucking phone would probably blow up. Legit explode. All right, on the Jacob Trouba trade. Jacob Trouba's contract carries a full no trade clause in the first 2 years of the deal. 16 no change 3 year and 12 salary increase. That makes it better, but not the best. We'll see. I don't know, man. That contract is still hard for me to fucking. Sabres just got nice. Let's see. Hang on. We can't. Where are you seeing it? Where are you seeing that fucking homeboy just got traded to the Buffalo Sabres? I'm not seeing it. Now, the Bruins gonna do anything today? That's what I want to know, man. The Bruins have been fucking pretty quiet. Cherney and Misa need to be on the second line based off their previous chemistry. I 100% agree with that. I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about that enough. I'm like, these dudes played together in Saginaw. Like, and they were fucking money. So why we're not trying to bring back that chemistry. The only reason I don't think or I would object to that is because Chernyshov has more size in his game. And he was pretty money with Mac and Will last year when he was with them. So that's the only reason I would be like, put them on the top line. Because if it is going to be Stenberg, Smith, and Mac, that's a small first line. But at the same time, if you have Jacob Trouba there, I don't think I would imagine he's probably going to be in the first D pairing. I don't know, man. The lineup's gonna be fucking weird. I'm interested to see how this thing shapes up because we also have the prospect pool, the defensive prospect pool coming up. Yeah, Mac, Smitty, Stenberg, Misa, Cherny, Graf. I agree. I think it's just going to be a rotating top six. That winger position is going to be rotating until something happens. I don't know what that something's going to be. I honestly just think Foley just needs to be out of the picture. If I'm being 100% honest with everyone. $6 million cap hit. Didn't really bring much to the table last year, other than his veteran leadership, if you want to say leadership. But I don't see him in this lineup any more than he needs to be. Connor Clifton, 2 years to Boston. My coffee pot just turned off. No. Sabres Sharks Cup. Oh. I just want to get to the playoffs first. That's the only thing I want to get. I want to get to the playoffs first before we even get to the cup. All right. Well, yes, I'd want to go to the cup for sure. But yeah. Now what else we got? There was third line: Sherwood, Marchment, Musty. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like if Quentin Musty was going to be in the lineup anytime soon, we probably would have seen him in one game already. You know what I mean? Last year, there was an opportunity for him to be put in the lineup and it wasn't. Or he wasn't, I should say. Scott Lawton is resigning in Los Angeles. Okay. Not surprised, but, I actually like Scott Lawton as a player. What else we got going on here? But yeah, Quentin Musty. I think he's more... I don't know, man. Our prospect pool is deep, man. It's really deep. And I really don't know who the odd man is, who the odd man out is, who's going to be, I think Quentin Musty has a lot of potential, a lot of upside. But if he hasn't been called up yet, not to say that he can't be called up, but the opportunities to play with last year, when Chernyshov was called up, there was other players that were called up. Can't remember everything off the top of my head right now, but I feel like he would have had an opportunity then. And since he hasn't gotten it yet, what does the coaching staff think of him right now? And, can he have a better camp this year where he can crack the lineup? Who's he replacing? I don't know who he's replacing. Again, if it's Tyler Toffoli, okay, but I still think, I don't know, man. For some reason, Ryan Warzowski loves his veteran players. Not that he's making these decisions, but like the Ty Dellandrea signing, I can't understand that at all. Those Zabchuk signing, I agree with that one. That one wasn't horrible. I thought he had a good like end of the year. He's young. He fits our timeline. He's kind of got that snarl in his game that I like, that a lot of Sharks fans like. So when we look at, I'm not gonna pull it up on the screen again. But I'm gonna look at it's Goodrow. We didn't even talk about Wenberg. Like Wenberg's got to be in the lineup as well. Like there are some pieces that the Sharks really need to move off of. The biggest one being Tyler Toffoli for me. Tyler Toffoli, Barca Goodrow. If we can get them off the books, that's almost an additional $10 million. Almost an additional $10 million. And then, we got to sign Graf. That's what I'm kind of surprised at right now. We haven't seen any Graf news yet. I mean, I'm sure we will. Those are the two big players I think we really need to kind of move off of. It's just a matter of finding a trade partner who will take a 34-year-old Tyler Toffoli who's making $6 million this year. Obviously send him to a contender. Yeah, that would be probably what would need to happen. And let's take a look at it. What does his contract look like? Does he have protection? He's got a no trade clause. Yeah, see, that's the other part too. So if we were to trade Tyler Toffoli, he's got no trade in his contract. If he is gonna get traded, it's got to be somewhere where he's gonna be, a team that's going to compete. I would imagine that would be the only reason in my mind for Tyler Toffoli to be like, I'm not going to a team that isn't going to be competing. I don't think the Ducks would make a deal with the Sharks for a player of Tyler Toffoli's age right now because they're young too. But I also know he's like, him and his wife are always down based on their social media. They're always down in SoCal. So LA or Anaheim would probably make sense. Or Anaheim would probably make the most sense for Tyler Toffoli, I would think. But then again, also on the East Coast, like they're talking about, like, he was potentially involved in a trade with, could be one of the bargaining chips with Toronto if we were to trade for Morgan Riley. I don't think that's going to happen anymore, but other things have happened. Sorry, I'm reading it as I'm like talking. I read like a text message. Other things have happened, so I think he's the trade that we definitely need to make a move with. But yeah, Tyler Toffoli, man, do not like that contract one bit. Let's see what else is popping off on Twitter right now. If anything else has happened, man, fuck. Teddy Bluger to Toronto. What? It is tomorrow. Okay, I thought it was today for some reason. My dates are all screwed up. I think I got the dates of USA playing today and the scrimmage playing the same. I thought they were playing the same day. And I'm just like, and free agency, like all these dates are in my head, and I have like work stuff I have to do today, so like my dates are all screwed up. So I thought it was gonna be today, but cool. You're telling me it's tomorrow? That's dope. Hang on, let's fucking pull up Twitter here. So Teddy Bluger to Toronto. What else we got going on here? Ugh. Don't care about that signing one bit. Jordan Harris, don't really care about that one. Jacob Trouba, first year, 8.5 million, 2.5 signing bonus. The fuck. So it's front heavy first 2 years. Talking about agent. All right, let's talk. Let's hear what Freach had to say about this.
Ready for it. So it looks like it's going to be Sergei Bobrovsky and the Toronto Maple Leafs. This has been heavily discussed, rumored.
Let's go back.
Yeah, I think he's coming to Toronto. I got a couple notes just saying get ready for it. So it looks like it's going to be Sergei Bobrovsky and the Toronto Maple Leafs. This has been heavily discussed, rumored, anticipated, whatever phrase you want to use. It looks like it's happening.
That is big news for the Toronto Maple Leafs, a two-time Vezina winner, a two-time Stanley Cup winner. As soon as we know the terms, Elliot, of course, will break that. He breaks it all right here on Sportsnet. So Sergei Bobrovsky, goalie Bob. Again, we cannot overstate this. On that draft lottery, the whole trajectory of what the Leafs were doing changed when that number 12 ball went through, right? They went from, okay, we probably need to rebuild to, first overall pick, Gavin McKenna. Let's get Radish over here. Let's get Bobrovsky over here. Let's see what we can dip our foot in. Maybe get Zach Werenski to Toronto. So everything's changed. But let's deal with this one move. We don't know the terms. He's 37 years of age. You're maybe not going to love the end of this deal, but they're doing this for the start of this deal, aren't they?
They're doing this for the win now. And I think a lot of the sentiment here in Toronto is the fact that they have two good young goaltenders in Dennis Hildeby and Artur Akhtiamov. And I think people want to see them get more minutes, more ice, more games, and really worried about Hildeby going through waivers at training camp. I think it's going to be really hard for an opposing team to pick up a guy like Hildeby at training camp. You have to get your rosters down to 23. Everybody needs to be healthy, and everybody is healthy.
My dog has had enough. He's like, I'm out.
The opportunity to bring in a guy like this, to bring in a two-time Vezina winner, Stanley Cup champion.
All right, that's enough of that. That was the report from earlier before Roy broke. But yeah. Let's go back to talking it. I hope Askey improves in the net this season. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind Hellebuck. I don't think anyone wouldn't mind Hellebuck. But I also think, like, you know, it's first year, like, as a start. Or I'm going to say start, but I think he's definitely going to get better. I think, you know, I got to imagine if I'm in his shoes, seeing how, like, you want to be here, right? If you're the goaltender and you're going to be like the goaltender of the future, you're going to want to be there. So that would just encourage me, if I was him, to go super hard this summer and, like, just improve your game in every asset, because we definitely need it. He definitely needs it as well too. Who does Florida get to be their goalie now? They have a goalie. They've got two. Markstrom and Schmid. I'm trying to see what else is popping off right now. Teddy Bluger, he's got what? 2.5. 2 years at 2.5. I even forgot Jacob Trouba played in Winnipeg. I mean, that's like how much of, like, I did not give a shit about Jacob Trouba when he played in Winnipeg. Crazy day, man. Crazy day so far for a Sharks fan. For one good reason, another one for another good reason, but also at the same time, like, god damn, that contract is gonna just, it's just hard to see. Let's see, my boy Raider Savage. If Musty has an outstanding camp preseason in the top 6, I think there will be a trade to open a spot for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy to think that he has a really good camp and just is placed on the Barracuda just to keep playing until they can make a move happen. I can see that happening for sure. It's just a matter of like who's gonna be the trade, right? Like in my mind, it has to be Tyler Toffoli. Now that Eklund's gone, it has to be Tyler Toffoli. Like get that cap space off the books, and free up some more space because we're gonna have to sign. We're gonna have to sign Mac. I don't think we're signing Mac. I mean, I know we're gonna sign him. I don't think we're signing him anytime soon. There's no rush for us to sign him anytime soon. I just think it's like just business that we want to get done before we even approach this time next year. So maybe like around Christmas or whenever, I mean, I know we want to try to lock up players for like, their 8-year, I don't know, what's the 8-year contracts up now? I can't remember. Locking him up as long as we can. Him and Will would be the move. We just need to get more cap space to do that. Now we have plenty of cap space right now, I think. Unless it's updated. Yeah, let's see if it's updated. Let's go to summary. Nope, it's not updated. Oh, I mean refresh it. Nope, not updated yet. But yeah, we got to get the more cap space we have, and as the cap goes up, we get more cap space too. So like that's a bit beneficial. It's beneficial to us in the long run. But having Tyler Toffoli off the books, older player, to me doesn't bring much to the table on ice. It's fine with me. If Toffoli leaves, I wonder where Misa will live. If I'm all those young Sharks players, Mac, Will, Misa, Chernyshov, fucking Graf, who else was in Stenberg? Like, I would just bro down and just get a house together. Like, that's what I would do. I know they're not going to do that because, like, that would be fine. I would have done that with my buddies like back in the day, but also we would just be nonstop, like partying. Obviously, we're not professional athletes, but that would be a different thing. But that's what I would do. I would just go, okay, you want to build a team, you want to build some brotherhood on a team with a young core. That would be the move to make. I'm tired of hearing about these stupid ass sleepovers and shit from Sharks fans. I'm like, that shit is so cringe to me, man. All right, what else we got going on? We're gonna hang out here for like another couple minutes, and then I'm gonna get my day going here. I'm just waiting to see if there's any other moves that might have happened as we were just kind of just chit chatting there. Doesn't look like much. Oh, here you go. Ian Cole signed with Chicago. 1 year, $4 million. Okay, NHL officially announced Bo Byram's extension is top of the clock. 6 years, $75 million, $12.5 million. Saw that earlier. Phoenix Copley, he signs with Columbus for 1 year, $850 cap hit. Now the other thing too is I'm like, can we get rid of fucking Ryan Warzowski at any point in time? I know they were talking about like, Mike was talking about how he likes him, and that there's like, I think I saw somewhere they're talking about an extension already for him. I'm just like, let's get through this year first. Hang on. Puckpedia says Sharks current cap after both signing days. Okay. I'm trying. Let me pull it up here on my side. I gotta close this Jacob Trouba sign because I cannot read. Okay, there it is. You're right. I didn't say you were wrong, but you're right now. I have a lot of tabs open on my screen right now, so yeah. So we still have a lot of cap space to sign players, to sign our own players. Colin Graff's got to get done. Let's pull up We'll pull this up really quick. Team info, depth chart. Let's go to summary. We'll go down here. Look, Cooch just making $8 million for doing nothing. Fuck Dallas. Looking at Sharks going into this year. Excuse me. I've been up for a while. All right, Barker Goodrow, for something, we got to figure out how to get him out the door. Although I do like his PK. He's a good penalty killer. I just don't think we need it that much now. Zach was up. He's staying around. Adam Gaudette, that'd be the other one. Ty DeAndre. I don't understand Ty DeAndre at all. Like, if you guys have an idea why Ty DeAndre fucking got what he got, let me know in the comments, because I've watched every Sharks game I've watched every Sharks game like twice. I watch it kind of like on the treadmill when I'm like, have nothing to watch. So I've watched a lot of Ty DeAndre when he was in the game, and I didn't see much of anything. If he's the replacement for Barker Goodrow on the penalty kill, I can see 1 year. We don't need 2 years of it. Barker Goodrow out. I think again, Tyler Toffoli got the no trade clause. I think we got to work a way around that somehow. And then pay Mac, pay Will. We got to pay Graf. Where's Graf? There he is. Got to pay Graf. I don't know what he's going to get. Honestly, 5, around the 5, 5.5, 5.7, around that mark. I can see Colin Graf getting that, earning that. Wouldn't be too crazy out of left field. Now it's a matter of like, does he want that or does he want more? I would happily give him Tyler Toffoli's contract right now. Get him at 6, and then pay Mac. Mac's easily going to be like the highest paid player on the Sharks. Will probably be like in the 8 to 9 area. So it's like 20 and another 20 mil. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a rush to get Mac and Will done right now. I think we'll just be patient with it. You know, let them know that we'll get it taken care of. Just let's make some moves here. Sam Dickinson, he's fine. Yeah, we're in good shape right now, man. Also, Askey's gonna be up next year. We're sitting good right now, cap space wise. I'm not too concerned about moves. It's just more so. There's pieces that we need to get off our books so we can give the younger guys on the Barracuda a chance. Like, I would love to see Luca Cagnoni in the lineup at some point this year. I definitely want to see, where are they at? Where's Polkamp at? Is he not on here yet? Oh, he's down here. There he is. Eric Polkamp. I want to see him up this year. Our boy Leo. Would love to see some improvement there with that player. Interesting times. Delandria subs for Zopchek and Goodrow. If injured, only thing I can think of. Yeah. Mac, 15 mil and Smith 9. That would be good. I definitely think Mac is going to get paid like fat. 15 million would not surprise me, but I also think we're going to wait to see what Connor Bedard's contract looks like, his next contract looks like, and then pile on whatever Mike Greer wants to pile on after that fact. But we'll see how that contract plays out. Like I said, we're not really in a huge rush to get that done right now. I think they also said that they're like in talks, or they had just began talks with all that. So like I said, we'll see. Toronto's also signing Brandon Duhaime. He played in Washington, I believe, if I remember right. Mason Marchment deal. 5-year deal with the Sharks, carries a 6.75 million AAV. I can live with that. This guy really wants fucking Bedard on the Sabres. Ain't gonna happen, my guy. Ain't gonna happen, all right? I mean, never say never, but What else we got going on here? Oliver Brookstrand to New York Rangers. Okay. Announced the Celebrini extension already. It's not gonna happen. Not today, man. Not today. Tampa, man. We'll see. Like I said, it's early. It's early. I can't jump to conclusions right now. But if Tampa really wants to go up against Florida in the playoffs, they're gonna have to make some better moves than what they're making right now. There's the Bowen Byram signing. We've talked about that enough. And there's the Jacob Trouba deal. Goddamn. Zach Werenski has been traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, fucking right, buddy. I'm really curious to know how that's going to shape up. I want to know how that's going to shape up whenever it does come about. But I heard that Bedard is waiting for Mac to sign before he signs. Who will sign first, Bedard? Well, if Bedard wants to wait a whole year, because Mac doesn't have to sign anything. Mac technically doesn't have to be presented a new contract until this time next year. So Connor Bedard's definitely signing first. But I'm also waiting for the offer sheet to come from the Sharks to Connor Bedard. That would be fucking nuts. All right, guys. I think we're going to end this stream here in a minute. We've been going for quite a while, unless some trade happens right now. I think we're good calling the stream what it is right now. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for the time being. Like I said, I'll pop on. I'll probably do another video, just kind of recapping all the moves that we have. If you're a Sharks fan, check out my other channel that's strictly dedicated to Sharks hockey news. It's called Sharks Breakdown. You can probably find a video on my page chilling on there right now. As we roll into the off season, as we're now in the off season, and Sharks news come about, I'm going to be talking about the Sharks specifically on that channel, not just here. This is all kind of everything hockey. That one's more specific. So yeah, do me a favor, go like and subscribe to that channel as well. Again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Let me know what surprised you the most today so far, down in the comments. I know we've talked while we've been here, and I appreciate you guys hanging with me. But yeah, we'll do another video. If something crazy happens in the next like 2 hours or whenever it is when before the USA games pops off, I'll be back on here to do like a live for that. But I'm going to go get my day going or finish off my day, do what I need to do. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good one. Love you. Go Sharks.